I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
What makes a ringing phone so tempting?
Yeah.
If you hang up, I will kill you.
You're kidding me.
I never kid.
You shot him.
Once you pick it up,
Toss away your weapon. It wasn't me.
you can't put it down.
I have your wife here.
Colin Farrell,
Get her out of here.
Forrest Whitaker,
Freeze.
and Kiefer Sutherland.
Don't you get the game yet?
In 3 days. Phone Booth, rated R. Friday, only in theaters.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is a Patreon review for Brett Horvath, who wanted my thoughts on Phone Booth. Now, Phone Booth, first off, thank you so much for that. If anyone's ever interested in requesting reviews or re-reviews or movie topics, commentaries, whatever you feel like, you do so either directly via my PayPal or you'd be part of my Patreon, where there's certain tiers for certain things. Either way, the links are down below in the info box. But Phone Booth is a film I saw in the theater and was very much impressed. Had a good time and had a good time watching it again. I really enjoy this film. It's a very short film. Very short. I think at the theater I was a bit taken aback with how short it was. I'm like, it's over already? Maybe because I was enjoying in a way, the journey. I did not want it to end. It's directed by Joel Schumacher. You know, when people go, Joel Schumacher can't direct, I'm like, no, go watch The Lost Boys, go watch Falling Down, go watch Flatliners, go watch this film, go watch 8mm. All films I enjoy. Some, not all, but some of them I've reviewed on the channel. And 8mm, I have a review of that on the channel, I know. And its stupid sequel, 8mm 2, but anyway. This film, again, proves that, yeah, Joel Schumacher made some duds like Batman and Robin, but there's films like this where he shows he's very talented. And of course, the concept and script was from Larry Cohen, may he rest in peace. Very, very original, cool idea. What if one day you're in a phone booth, and even the movie points out phone booths, even at this time, were not really a thing anymore, and this was one of the few last phone booths out there. Well, if you picked up the phone, and then all of a sudden you're in the sights of a sniper, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And so it's, how do you make a film where pretty much the entire movie is a guy in a phone booth? And I thought they did it very well and very effectively, with split screens and having people talking here and here, having the screen like this part here while a person talking. People just say it's flashy, people just say it's busy work, but to me it could be redundant just looking at it, having the camera focus on a guy in a phone booth. So I appreciate them, Joel Schumacher and whoever else came up with the idea, to utilize different angles, utilize, I want to say different techniques, but again, with the split screens, the way they did it throughout the film, I thought it made it work in its favor. Also in its favor is the cast. Now, originally, Jim Carrey was going to be in the lead, but he backed out because of pretty much he got cold feet. And that's too bad. Although I do think Colin Farrell did a good job. Honestly, I think it's his best performance. I'm not a big Colin Farrell guy. I'm not. I've never been a huge Colin Farrell fan. But, to be fair, the stuff he's done I've enjoyed. Tigerland, his performances, it's fun in Daredevil. But this is easily his best performance in my opinion. As a guy who, he's a publicist, he's arrogant, he's in it for himself. He's married to Radha Mitchell actually from Pitch Black, but he's not quite cheating on her, but he's talking and trying to seduce this other lady, played by T.D. Holmes, and will call her from time to time behind his wife's back. And he hasn't gone all the way with it, but he's thinking about it and then trying to seduce her into it. So not a great guy, but throughout the film, pretty much as time goes on, he just is reduced more and more into just bearing his soul, letting his sins out into the public. And I thought Colin Farrell pulled that off very well, very effectively. Especially when he has to go out in the phone booth and he talks about how he's not worth, how do I put it? If you find the scene or watch the movie, Colin Farrell did it fantastically. Where that his whole life's a lie, that he makes himself look more important than he really is, that my watch is fake and so am I. That whole thing where he just breaks down, talks about how he's not worthy of his wife and of anything. When I see a scene like that, I'm like, okay, this guy impressed me. I will say though, as much as I like Colin Farrell in this, I'm going to go out on a limb. If Jim Carrey did this movie and did a performance, and I know Jim Carrey can act. He was great in The Truman Show, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I saw that in the theater as well, enjoyed that one. He can act. If he was in this role and brought that amount of credibility, intensity, the ability to break yourself down in front of people, desperation that Colin Farrell showed in this, I think Jim Carrey would have been nominated for an Oscar. Colin Farrell, he did a great job. Maybe he wasn't a big enough name. I know that doesn't make sense, but sometimes with Oscars and the politics of it. But maybe because Jim Carrey, oh my God, he's known for comedy, but sometimes that's how it works with, oh, we knew him for comedy, but man, look at this dramatic work. Maybe that would put more spotlight onto the movie. I don't know. But I would love to have seen what Jim Carrey would have done with it. And then Jim Carrey worked with Joel Schumacher. Of course, they had worked together on Batman Forever, which is funny because I thought at one time Joel Schumacher said, I'll never work with Jim Carrey again, but they were going to work on this, and then they did work on the number 23, which that movie fucking sucked. But regardless, Colin Farrell did a great job. We'll love to see what Jim Carrey would have done, but Colin Farrell was great in this. And then another great piece of casting was Kiefer Sutherland as the voice of the sniper. Now, I don't know how true this is, but in the documentary that Larry Cohen was in before he passed away, it was a documentary about his films, he mentioned how he saw a cut and he didn't like the voice of the sniper, and he said, you should get someone else. And then Joel Schumacher's like, huh, really? I don't know how true that is. I mean, I don't see why Larry Cohen would have lied. But Kiefer Sutherland, I enjoy as an actor. From Young Guns to Flatliners, in which he worked with Joel Schumacher. I'm trying to think what my favorite role of his would be. The bits I've seen of 24 I've enjoyed. I haven't seen too much of it though, sadly. But yeah, Kiefer, he was great as the voice of the sniper because he brought that. There's a little bit of sense of humor, but definitely you can buy him being dangerous. For example, when he cocks a gun and Colin Farrell hears it, and then Kiefer goes, doesn't that just torture your jaws? He said, why are you doing this? Because that sound is scary. So Kiefer being the voice of that, I'm like, okay, this is a guy to take seriously. This is a guy not to mess around with when you hear that voice and that tone. And again, I can't deny, I really want to praise Colin Farrell in this because his characters are very arrogant. Pick up the phone, oh, I can turn people into gods, I turn you into a fucking loser. And you really do see a shift of this character. When Kiefer's like calling Katie Holmes or calling other people, at Forrest Whitaker, who I enjoy as an actor, he comes in as a cop, just things ratchet up, and then it's a standoff, and again, having the film split into split screens keeps the momentum going so it doesn't feel stale and it's just medium or wide shots, but there's different kinds of stuff that it does. Which again, some people may feel it's flashy. I thought it worked. Kiefer Sutherland's sniper character, he made shit up just to fuck with Colin Farrell. He's telling Colin Farrell to fuck with Forrest Whitaker on purpose. Otherwise he's going to shoot him, or he's going to shoot Forrest Whitaker's character. One thing with Forrest Whitaker, there are times where I'm like, this guy seems like a smart guy, and it seems like he should have figured stuff out sooner. I mean, whether it be the guy, the way he's talking, and then if you look on the telephone, because of an incident earlier, there's a fucking bullet hole. There's a fucking bullet hole on the fucking... I guess they assume that Colin Farrell had shot this guy, and that's where the bullet hole came from, but I guess that's what they assume. I guess that's what they assume. So I'll take that back. I didn't think about that they probably assumed that they think that he shot this guy, so they probably think that's where it's from, that bullet hole. But, I mean, to be fair, Forrest Whitaker does say later, I knew something was up. But there is a point where he sees a sniper dot on someone's forehead, and he does tell this other guy, who I recognize the guy, what is his name though? He was in Event Horizon. I want to say his last name ends with Jones. I can't remember, but I know he's in Event Horizon. He's been in other stuff too. Was it Richard T. Jones, or I can look real quick. Yeah, Richard T. Jones. Oh, and that's why I should mention Josh Payas. Raphael from the 1990 Ninja Turtles film. He's near the beginning of this. He's one of the people that Colin Farrell talks before he enters the phone booth in the first like 5 or so minutes. I almost forgot about Josh Payas. That's why he was in this. And throughout the film, you get the idea that Kiefer Sutherland, the reason he's doing this is to, in a way, teach Colin Farrell a lesson and to be a better person in a sick, twisted, fucked up way. That's why he's doing this. I guess kind of like a Jigsaw from the Saw films. Although I like this more than those movies. I don't mind the first one and parts of the second one, but I thought this was better. But yeah, it definitely has a little bit of that I'm going to teach him a lesson type of thing. I'm guessing that's where it's going with. I'm trying to think what else I could say, because it's a very short film, very straightforward film. It's a great idea. Larry Cohen was a guy who's a wealth of those good ideas, whether it be in cellular, whether it be in films he directed like Q the Winged Serpent. And he did a good job in this. The script. As well as Forrest Whitaker, Colin Farrell did a great job. Kiefer and his voice was sinister, but you would have fun fucking with Colin Farrell. Sorry about the dog. It's my friend's dog. I guess he's praising the film too. Said, go watch this movie. Long story short, fast pace. Part of me wanted to be longer just because I was enjoying myself, but I can understand it. Didn't want to overstay its welcome. The concept was interesting. It was well done. It was stylishly directed. And overall, solid movie. If you haven't seen Phone Booth, give it a look. And if you don't like Colin Farrell, believe me, I can understand, but I think he did a great job with this. It's a cool concept. It's well filmed, stylish, and overall, well worth a look. So thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.